Well, joining us now to tell us what he knows about all of this, one of the most knowledgeable members of the House of Representatives, the chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, Mike Rogers. Mr. Chairman, let's just go back to Israel for a minute. Hamas continues to fire these rockets. They poured all this concrete, as you heard Prime Minister Netanyahu talk about. Where are they getting this stuff?
You know, it's an interesting combination, and there's an interesting development on this front. So Iran is publicly in their own newspapers touting the fact that they're helping militarize Hamas in the Gaza Strip. And now the Qataris are saying, hey, we want to pull Iran away from that, and we want to support, which is a dangerous combination for Israel. So you have this two-front combination. The Qataris are certainly engaged. We believe that some of this money is coming from Saudi Arabia, not the official government, but from other sources. And so that money, and they pilfer money that is coming in from legitimate purposes to divert to tunnels. So if you think about how obscene that is, the hundreds of millions of dollars they've had over a decade, 20% of the people in Gaza Strip aren't connected to a water source. 90% of all the water there doesn't meet international standards. But they've got, I think the Israelis just closed 35 tunnels. So they're diverting legitimate money, and you have Iran that is maligned into this particular interest in a way that's very, very dangerous.
But I thought the Qataris were our allies here.
Well, this is what makes this region so interesting. So you have Iran, and the Qataris are certainly supporting Hamas, and certainly factions thereof. They're also supporting places in Syria. So that's why this is so intertwined in a way that makes it a very dangerous stew indeed. It is one common thing that the Shias and the Sunnis don't like, and that's a Jewish Israel state. That is confirmed. And I think they found an outlet to try to do this. And it's spreading to other areas, Bob. This is what's the other problem. There is the unseen war in this particular event, and that's the new cyber front. There are not only what you see coming from Hamas, attacks on Israel, but now we have nation states engaged in the region, in cyber conflict, that could cause this to escalate in a way that's very, very dangerous for stability.
How much do you think they have, how much money do you think has been poured into these tunnels? It's literally millions of dollars, which, as I understand it, came in there to build schools, things of that.
Well, and again, I think they diverted some of the legitimate money. Clearly that happened. So instead of building wells or water infrastructure, they diverted that money to build these tunnels. And I think that they're getting money, again, from Iran, who has been a malign force in that whole entire region. Think about it. They're supporting Hezbollah in the fight in Syria and supplying Hamas in the Gaza Strip with weapons. That is the difficult part here. And what's concerning about that is just about 10 days ago or so, the United States agreed to allow Iran to have another $2.8 billion released just for them to continue nuclear negotiations. And that's what's so frustrating with the administration now. All of this works together. You can't just pick and choose one particular region. It has to work in concert. So when you free up $2.8 billion for Iran, when they're already cash-strapped because of sanctions, that means they can continue to do bad activities in the Gaza Strip, including missile, we believe, at least missile components. We understand, according to public reports, they've even offered to help hide those missile systems, and their work in Syria with supporting the Assad regime. It's not working in concert that is helping us cause this confusion around the Middle East.
Well, Congressman, I want to tell you, you've explained and made this thing even more dire than I understood it at the beginning of this broadcast. I want to thank you very much for coming by and filling us in.
Thanks, Bob.
Always good. I'll be back with some personal thoughts in just a moment.